hawkers and merchants cried out as Miriam left a wave of dust in her wake, but she paid them little heed as she pressed through the crowded desert streets, moving with purpose. Today, her dreams would come true. The marketplace was always chaotic. A hum of voices, from gossiping merchants to loud-mouthed hawkers, to the glaring sun high above that baked the bone-dry air. Farb's was a world always in motion. But there was something else. She felt it in the air, like the charged hum before a coming storm. It made her skin prickle, and the hairs on her arms stood on end. A change was coming. A change meant an end to the dreaded tannery that each day left her skin smelling more of putrid sulfur, a stink she couldn't wash out, no matter how much soap she used or how hard she scrubbed. And yet her heart fluttered at that thought. She was scared to leave the only thing she knew, and more importantly, how would she help provide for her family? Life in Farb's was hard for those with work, but without? She nearly shivered despite the heat. Still, change also meant a beginning. Miriam smiled at last, welcoming the hum of change. Nimbly she wove between two fruit sellers apologizing to the men who argued red-faced, competing for a gaggle of customers. Both colorful carts brimmed with ripe green fulquats and squat brown combersqualls. She hesitated as she imagined biting into the sweet, crisp flesh of a juicy fulquat. No doubt it would be perfect on a day such as this to quell the angry heat. But she quickly pushed the temptation away. She had no time for it. Not today, she thought with an excited smile. As she pressed forward, the crowds swarmed around once again, moving like feverish fire ants. Farb's was a city bursting with all manner of people, merchants seeking deals, laborers toiling away, guards with vigilant eyes, dockhands on leave and looking for a drink, and the occasional ruffians scanning for easy prey. She passed bushels of copper-colored wheat, jugs brimming with dark wines, casks filled with frothing brews, jars and tables piled with herbs of the desert, shining jewelry, and the gloss of fine fabrics. She even saw baskets filled with coiled snakes. She shivered in disgust. It was a delicacy of Farb's, but far from her liking. Tucked beneath a sky of colorful awnings, the world of the marketplace sat just out of reach of the ferocious orange sun. Miriam raised her shaka to shield her face from the dust of the city, when suddenly she ran into a wall of flesh. Men and women were packed tighter than a clenched fist. "What's going on?" she whispered, but received only shrugs in reply. She maneuvered through the crowd, pushing her way to the front, just as an elegant palanquin appeared. It was followed by a host of men and women in scarlet and black cloth. Each danced around the cart, while guards on camels flanked the spectacle. Slowly they moved beneath the wide-arched entryway and into the marketplace proper. Miriam's gaze was glued to the lacarta. Its wooden panels were heavily gilded and engraved with the black flame, the citadel's sigil.